Hey, DJ. Today we're covering the 15th anniversary of Scott Pilgrim versus the World. There's such great music, action sequences, superpowers. If you had a superpower, what would it be?
To summon tacos, forget superpowers. I want super salsa.
What? Did you forget to eat breakfast again? I told you it's the most important meal of the day. I'm going to order you some DoorDash. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Men Who Watch Movies. My name is Alec.
And my name's DJ the Movie Man Wagner, also known as the COE of the Men Who Watch Movies.
Oh, yeah. We have a great episode for you today. One of my favorite movies of all time. And would you say it's one of your favorite movies of all time?
Oh yeah, very, very much.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Michael Cera is his peak of excellence. Such a wonderful movie. Edgar Wright's cult classic. A movie that flopped at the box office but grew into one of the most beloved comic book adaptations ever. It's packed with video game logic, comic book flair, and the energy of a garage band fueled entirely on Red Bull. But before we get into all that, we're going to do what we always do, and we're going to talk about what's going on in this wacky industry this week in movie news.
Movie news.
Cue
that intro.
Yes, you know the score. All right. We have a lot of great movie news for you this week. First off, the great Michael Caine reverses his retirement for The Last Witch Hunter 2. At the age of 92, Sir Michael Caine has once again stepped out of retirement to reprise his role as Dolan the 36th in The Last Witch Hunter 2 alongside Vin Diesel. Despite previously stepping away in 2023, Caine is lured back by the enduring fan enthusiasm around the first film. Lionsgate is moving forward with the sequel, aiming to capitalize on modern filmmaking technologies and the established chemistry between Caine and Diesel. Have you seen The Last Witch Hunter?
Oh, I have. I've seen The Last Witch Hunter. It's good.
Really? You've seen it? What is it about? I haven't seen it.
It's about Vin Diesel hunting a witch killer and...
Wait, he's hunting a witch killer? So he's the last witch hunter?
No, he's the last witch hunter, and he's hunting someone down.
Oh, that makes much more sense. Okay, and then I get you. So that's great. Good for Michael Caine. What a weird choice of movie, but maybe he had fun with the Diesel Man. Yeah, that's great. I mean, I'm good for him. He's such a legend. He's definitely one of my favorite actors. Would you say he's one of your favorite actors?
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. He is a wonderful actor.
And of course, I'm talking about Vin Diesel. No, I'm just joking. All right. Moving on. Our next bit of movie news. Dwayne Johnson, Chicken Man. Apparently, Dwayne Johnson transforms into the quote-unquote Chicken Man in Lizard music. At the Toronto International Film Festival, Dwayne Johnson revealed his latest role is a dramatic departure from his action hero image. He shed 30 pounds to play an eccentric 70-something-year-old man called Chicken Man in Lizard music, directed by Benny Safdie. The whimsical story is based on a novel where this quirky senior befriends a similarly aged chicken. This marks yet another bold transformation following his heavier, gritty turn in The Smashing Machine. Wow. What do you think? This movie sounds off the rails. What do you think?
It does sound off the rails. I never seen this movie, but
it's not out yet.
Weird, but I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a try. I'm not.
I want to see it just to see a weird 70-something skinny Dwayne Johnson. That would be interesting. Yeah. I mean, he's definitely desperate to up his acting game, and you could tell he wants an award really, really bad, especially after the embarrassment of his, you know, attempted takeover of the DC cinematic universe. I think he's really trying to correct course here, and you know, stop putting out shit movies, so to speak. What do you think? I mean, do you think he's going to be successful and win an award?
He might,
Who
he's The
knows?
Rock. Of course, he's lost his muscle mass, so I guess he's all skinny and whatnot.
Deflated. But the Smashing Machine looks good. I think it's also by Benny Safdie as well. I want to check that out. He looks totally different. They use some prosthetics to make him look like the guy that he's playing. Mark Kerr, I think. I think this is his name. Anyway. Interesting choice, sir. We will see. We will see if you could pull this off. All right. Our next bit of movie news, and a sad bit of movie news. Emmy-winning TV producer Ted Mann has passed away at the age of 72. You might not know his name, but you know his work. He's the Emmy-winning writer and producer behind landmark dramas like NYPD Blue, Deadwood, and Homeland. He passed away at 72 after battling lung cancer. A Canadian-born talent, Mann began his career at National Lampoon and earned his Emmy for NYPD Blue in 1995. He later played a significant role in shaping the theatrical tone of Deadwood, writing major season finales and contributing to high-profile television drama. And he actually wrote for Ghostbusters, the Slimer, and the real Ghostbusters cartoon, which is an interesting fact.
That was him?
I mean, he was in the sole writer, but he wrote for some episodes.
I think I heard that someone used to watch Deadwood, or that TV show Deadwood. But yeah, I
it was
mean,
a good show. So he will definitely be missed. He contributed greatly to the
He will be
world
missed.
of entertainment. This brings a conclusion to this week in movie news.
Oh yeah.
Now let's get on with the show. So Scott Pilgrim, wonderful movie released in August of 2010. Scott Pilgrim versus the World is based on Brian Lee O'Malley's graphic novel series directed by Edgar Wright, best known for Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, his Cornetto trilogy, as it's come to be known. This movie mashed together anime, arcade games, and indie music into a live-action cartoon. At the time, critics loved it, audiences ignored it, and now it's considered ahead of its time. What was your initial impression of Scott Pilgrim?
It's a different movie, but all in all,
Yeah,
it's
definitely
very,
different.
very funny.
It is. It's very different and very funny. You're right. It was when I first saw it. I didn't see it in theaters. I rented it from the video store when those were a thing. We had a corner video store, and I rented it. I gotta say, it took me a while to warm up to it. It was so fast paced. It had my head spinning. I was confused on what was going on because it's not your traditional like comic book, where it's with superheroes and whatnot. But you do have like battles and evil, villains versus heroes and whatnot. But it's not in the way you're used to seeing it. So I was confused on what like the rules of the world were, and everything just moved at lightning speed, and it didn't sit well with me on the first watch. I liked the aesthetic of it, but it was just it was just wild. And then upon rewatch, I started to get more and more into it, and then it just became one of my favorites. What was your impression of it?
Oh, it's very, very good, very, very funny, full of humor, great casting, and great cameos.
Definitely. There's so many great actors in this movie. Let's just start with the main cast. I mean, you have, of course, Michael Cera, who plays Scott Pilgrim, best known for Arrested Development and Superbad at the time. Such a legend already coming into this role. At first, I wasn't too keen on him because a lot of the other people are either they weren't as big or they were unknowns at the time. And having Michael Cera as Scott Pilgrim, it's kind of, I already had a vision of him from like Arrested Development and Superbad and all that. So I wasn't too keen on him at first, but I warmed up to him in the role, definitely. I mean, he's a legend. Mary Elizabeth Winstead plays Ramona Flowers. Of course, you've seen her since then in 10 Cloverfield Lane, Birds of Prey, and she's in the Ahsoka series. Ellen Wong, who plays Knives Chow, appeared later in Netflix's Glow. I don't know if you've seen the TV show Glow on Netflix. I would highly recommend it. It's about women's wrestling in the 80s. They canceled it, and it didn't get a chance to end properly, and I'm still pissed about it. Wonderful show. Check it out. Kieran Culkin, the legend. He's been huge. He's been blowing up as of the last few years. He plays Wallace Wells, Scott Pilgrim's gay roommate, the snarky brother from Succession, as we've come to know him nowadays. Chris Evans, the legendary Chris Evans, before he played Captain America, he played Lucas Lee, one of the 7 evil X's in the movie. Of course, we have Brie Larson, another Marvel alum, plays Envy Adams, Scott's dreaded ex. Also, playing a captain in Marvel, playing Captain Marvel. And we have the legendary Aubrey Plaza playing Julie Powers. Of course, most people might know her as the Queen of Sarcasm from Parks and Recreation. And then we have Anna Kendrick playing Stacy Pilgrim, Scott's sister. Of course, she went on to star in the Pitch Perfect movies. And then we have the legendary Jason Schwartzman from indie film royalty, often seen in Wes Anderson films, of course, starting with Rushmore. And then we have Brandon Routh, one of my favorite Superman, playing Todd Ingram, another evil X. And then we have Mae Whitman playing Roxy Richter, an evil X who's a female. And she was also with Michael Cera on Arrested Development. Do you remember her role on that?
Oh yeah, she was the person who was talking to him about church and whatnot.
Well, she was his girlfriend, remember? On Arrested Development.
Oh yeah.
The one that no one could remember. And then her yearbook said not pictured, even though there was a picture of her in the yearbook. It was hilarious. And then the dad kept calling her Egg. Yeah. I mean, so they've worked together before in Arrested Development. It's basically an all-star lineup of actors before they really blew up. I mean, a lot of them have yet to hit their peak. And then it's like, whoever cast this movie was spot on. Like, getting like the best of the best who were yet to be, in a way. So anyway, the movie kicks off in Toronto. That's like the heart of the movie, Toronto, Canada. 22-year-old Scott Pilgrim, played by Michael Cera, a bassist in the garage band Sex Bob-omb, dating Knives Chow, a 17-year-old high schooler who worships him. The age gap is, wow. Even the characters in the movie call it out. It's a little controversial. Anyway, not to get too off topic. Then all of a sudden, bam! Scott meets Ramona Flowers, played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead, the cool American girl with dyed hair and a rollerblade delivery job at Amazon.ca. Of course, he immediately decides that she's his dream girl. Literally, she's skating through his dreams like it's no big deal. I had a hard time getting through that concept. I don't know if you remember that in the movie, but she uses a portal in his brain to get to places faster.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It was such a strange concept. It's like you have a hard time deciding is that a dream? Was it real? But apparently it's real. There's, there's a lot of fantastical things in this movie. It's almost framed as like a little indie love story, but then you got to remember that there's superpowers. There's people with, demon hipster chicks and shit. So it's like you got to throw logic out the window. Yeah. But here's the catch. To date Ramona, Scott has to defeat her 7 evil exes, like he's in a video game boss rush. First fight, Matthew Patel, played by Satya Baba. He burst into a battle of Bollywood dance fighting, which was so epic. I love that. I love the music. I love the choreography of it. Do you remember that first battle with Matthew Patel?
Oh yeah, it's very good.
I just love how his movements. He's so dramatic. And he does his little shoulder moves. Pilgrim. He's such a great... It's funny, the actor, he was actually British. And Edgar Wright, he's English. And he wanted to cast all Americans in this movie because this was his first big American picture. He's from England. And so he was looking for actors who were from America. And Satya did an American accent because he knew he was looking for only Americans. So he fooled him. And he didn't realize until afterwards that he wasn't actually American. He was British. So luckily he got the part, and he's great. He's great as Matthew Patel. Scott wins with a mix of punches, kicks, and pure awkward energy. Patel explodes into coins like a defeated Mario enemy. I love that aspect, and I especially love the attention to detail in this movie. Like as he progresses through all the evil X's, like there's more coins. Like when he wins the Matthew Patel fight, it's like the initial tutorial fight almost, and he gets like a few coins, and then as he progresses along all the way, like the coins get more and more and more. I just love those little attention to detail like that. Of course, we have our second evil X, Lucas Lee, played by the great Chris Evans, a Hollywood action star and professional skater who Wallace Wells adores. Evans is hilarious here. He's doing his like over the top thing, doing crazy stunts, punching with stunt doubles. I love the scene with the stunt doubles. Remember, he was fighting Scott, and he's too big of a star to fight Scott on his own, so he has all his stunt doubles getting a fight. And the funny thing is, those were actually Chris Evans stunt doubles in the movie. They actually portrayed the in movie stunt doubles, and but my favorite little detail, I don't know if you remember this, but when he's fighting Scott, it appears that he had defeated him or something like that, and then he's talking with the stunt doubles, but they all have Chris Evans' voice. He dubbed over all their voices, so it's funny. It's like he's talking to himself. Yeah, there we go. And it was funny. Do you remember that part?
Oh yeah, I do.
What do you think about his performance in this? Did you like
It
his
was
over the
very,
topness?
very good. Chris Evans is a wonderful actor. I hope
Definitely.
he continues to act in more movies.
Yeah, I think he can pull off both serious, and he can pull off wacky stuff like this. Would you agree?
Definitely, I would definitely agree on that.
Definitely, definitely. And then he wipes out in one of the most video game ways possible. So Scott basically he plays on his ego. He knows that he has a hard time defeating him, but he convinces him that he couldn't do a grindy thingy on this huge steep rail, and he mentions that girls are watching because he Lucas is saying like I can't do that. The rails are garbage and it's too steep. It's too dangerous, bro. And he's like, the girls are watching, and so he knows that his ego is too big and his pride is too important, and so he does the stunt anyway, much to his demise, and he explodes in a flash of smoke and coins, killing Lucas Lee. The third fight is Todd Ingram, played by Brandon Routh, bassist for the band Clash at Demon Head, and Ramona's ex, who now dates Envy Adams, played by Brie Larson. Scott's big ex of the movie. He's the one that has, or she's the ex that he has a big hang up on, which caused him to end up dating Knives. He's trying to get over Envy. It was a big thing for him. Talk about drama, man, right? Todd's got psychic powers thanks to being vegan, because of course he does. But he gets tricked into drinking half and half, instantly losing his powers when the vegan police show up. It's one of the funniest cameos ever. You have, of course, the legendary Thomas Jane playing one of the vegan police. They show
Yeah.
up and they hit
Woo!
him with their deveganizing ray. And in his hair, he has like Brandon Routh has like this epic hair. It's like spiked up, and as soon as he gets deveganized, his hair flops down in a big mess. And and I love Scott's little phrase that he says right before he defeats him. He says, "Once you were vegan, but now you will be gone." And then he's so perplexed. He's like, "Vegan." And then earlier in that scene, like when like this is at a point where Knives is Scott had broken up with Knives for Mona, and she is upset, that he's dating Ramona, and so she tries to dress all cool. She puts a blue streak of dye in her hair, and she starts dating Scott's friend young Neil, and then and she meets up with them. And then at one point, Knives is fangirling over Envy Adams, and then Todd Ingram just goes over and like punches the shit out of Knives. Like, what the? That's one of those things that's like, what the fuck? What is he doing? And then he punches her so hard, he punches the highlights out of her hair. And then young Neil, that's his big comment of the scene. You punched the highlights out of her hair. You punched the highlights out of her hair. But yeah. So yeah, after he gets defeated, the fourth fight is with Roxy Richter, played by Mae Whitman, Ramona's ex-girlfriend. Throughout the movie, they tease Scott saying, he's 7 evil ex-boyfriends. And then Ramona keeps correcting him, saying that 7 evil exes. And then you don't know why. Even Scott is perplexed. And then finally, he meets up with Roxy, and he's like, "You had a sexy phase?" And then, so anyway, he's hesitant to fight her because he doesn't want to punch a girl. But they do an interesting workaround where Ramona is controlling Scott's hands and feet, because Scott technically has to defeat her himself if he wants to beat her to win Ramona over. That's the rules, I guess, of the whole thing. And then so Ramona grabs Scott's hands and legs and starts using him to punch Roxy. Eventually, he uses a secret trick to defeat her. Do you know what the secret trick was?
No, what was the secret trick?
Remember, it was Roxy gets defeated when Scott helps Ramona hit her weak spot. So basically, it was like a weak spot on the back of her leg, like behind her knee. And then Ramona knew about it because when they were dating, when they were making out, I guess she would touch her there, and she would get excited over it and whatnot. And so she was telling Scott that, but he didn't want to hear anything about it. She was like, one time when we were making out, and then he's like, okay, enough. And then so he touches the back of her knee, and then she just explodes into a bunch of coins and defeats her. And then the 5th and 6th fight were with the Katiyanagi twins, Kyle and Ken. That was a cool fight. I don't know if you remember, but they fight via Battle of the Bands. They literally summon dragons with their synth music, which was pretty cool. Sex Bob-omb fights back with a giant spectral gorilla summoned by their amps, and it's like a dragon versus gorilla fight. It's like pure anime. Like it's so kinetic. It's like, I don't know. It's just something straight out of a video game. I love it. And eventually, Sex Bob-omb wins. They end up crushing them underneath a stack of amps, I think, or something like that. And they end up winning that battle, of course, but not after a harsh knockdown. They get knocked down by the dragon. And then, of course, we have the final boss battle with Gideon Graves, played by Jason Schwartzman, also known as G-Man. He's a music producer. Scott doesn't know at the time that Gideon is G-Man. They've been trying so hard to get a music deal going, and it isn't until later that he finds out that the person that summoned the evil exes is the very guy that they're looking to find success with. So he's controlling Ramona with a mind control chip. He owns a fancy nightclub called the Chaos Theater. Scott fights him, and he actually dies. Spoiler alert for a 15-year-old movie. Yeah, but then he earlier in the movie he collected a 1-up extra life, and he comes back with the power of self-respect. Earlier, the first time he fought him with the power of love. He was fighting for Ramona, and the power of love manifested itself as a sword that came out of his chest with a little heart on the handle, and he ended up losing. And it turns out after he regenerated, he learned a valuable lesson, because he in a way he learns that he shouldn't be fighting solely for someone else. He learns that he should be working on himself and learning to respect himself before he can love someone else and focus his time on someone else. And I think that's one of the main messages of this movie. So with the power of self-respect, it's like the ultimate level up. And with Ramona and Knives' help, Gideon is defeated, coins scatter, and Scott finally learns that maybe love isn't about winning battles. It's all about growth. And he learns to resolve the animosity between Knives and Ramona, because he ends up revealing the fact that he was dating Knives and Ramona at the same time. And, he seeks their forgiveness. He realizes that he was being an asshat. And I think that's where the real growth comes from, is owning up to your mistakes, owning up to the problems that you have in order to move forward and have growth. What do you think? So if you will, I want you to join me. I don't know if you've seen Jerry Springer, R.I.P., but he would always have Jerry's final thought. And, he summed up all of the raunchiness and trash with a little bit of prolific something something. And I want to do the same with this movie. So I have Alec's final thought. What I love about Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is that it's not just a story about video games, music, or flashy fight scenes. It's about love, life, and finding yourself in the chaos. Scott doesn't just fight Ramona's exes. He fights insecurity, jealousy, and immaturity. He starts the movie selfish and unsure, stringing along knives while chasing Ramona. But by the end, he realizes relationships are more than just winning somebody over. It's about self-respect, honesty, and the courage to face your own flaws. That's why the movie sticks with me. Because deep down, we've all had our own evil exes to fight. Not just people, but old versions of ourselves. Regrets, mistakes, the things that weigh us down. The movie says you can face them, you can grow past them, and you can still find love. Both for others and for yourself. So yeah, on the surface it's coins, guitars, and over-the-top battles. But in the bigger scheme of life, it's about leveling up as a person. And that to me is why Scott Pilgrim vs. the World still matters 15 years later. What do you think about that?
It's well said, and of course, well described about the movie. It's very, very interesting.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things that goes deeper than the surface level. Although the surface level is very good in and of itself. The soundtrack alone is amazing. Wouldn't you agree that? I mean, the music. They searched a lot through Toronto's like indie music scene, which helped form the comic book that it's based off of. I mean, the name Scott Pilgrim comes from a band called Plumtree, which you can see him sporting a Plumtree T-shirt in the movie. They have a song called Scott Pilgrim, which is interesting. And and Beck had a lot to do with this. The music in the movie. He did a lot of the songs that Sex Bomb sings. I mean, it's such bangers in there. Like, We Are Sex Bomb and Garbage Truck. I mean, there's such amazing. I love the grittiness of it. It seems so real and raw, and just amazing overall production. What would you rate Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
Oh, I rated a 10 out of 10.
Of course, you always rate everything. I would definitely give it a solid 9.5 out of 10. I reserve 10s for the best of the best, and it's damn close to it. Solid movie, solid message. Definitely worthy of a cult classic status. I wish it did better when it came out, but it's almost it's just like Scott. He comes up from being the underdog, and he learns to be successful. And I think it's very, very prolific. I think that's the word. I don't know words. So that's Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Happy 15th anniversary, Scott Pilgrim. Before we leave, are there any recommendations? Are there any shows you're watching right now? Any movies that you've watched that you recommend? Anything that you want to see in the future?
Terminal Velocity.
Sure. What's that?
It's a movie with Charlie Sheen and James Gandolfini. Very, very good.
Oh, so it's an older movie.
Oh yeah, but it's very, very good.
Okay.
And of course,
where can you watch it? Is it
the
streaming
Thunderbolts
anywhere?
movie?
Oh yeah, we talked about that. Where's Terminal Velocity streaming?
It streams on Amazon Prime. You can get it on YouTube, rent it, and it's very, very good.
Interesting.
Very suspenseful.
What year is that?
But of course,
what year did that come out?
Like a bit of sad movie news. Terrence Stamp passed away at the age of 87, but he is remembered as the voice of General Zod. He is so legendary. He will be missed. He will be sorely missed.
Did we talk about Terrence Stamp?
I don't think we did.
I thought we covered that in one of our movie news.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure we did.
Oh yeah.
I like how you
anyway,
back to movie.
He'll be remembered for his movies.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah. Movie news ended a while ago, Putty.
Oh yeah.
But So interesting recommendation. When did that movie come out? Terminal Velocity.
It came out in 1994.
Wow. Okay, it's an older movie. Nice,
Oh
interesting
yeah.
recommendation. I have a not a recommendation, but something that I'm looking forward to is the movie I Like Me. It's a documentary about John Candy. I don't know if you've seen the trailer drop.
I
Looks
have seen it, but I have not
amazing.
seen it.
Well, yeah, it's not out yet, I believe, but I want to see it. It looks spectacular. I definitely want to check that out. Of course, John Candy, a legend. I mean, he seemed like such a great guy, and this documentary seems to capture, you know, his personality and what people thought of him and the great person that he was in the industry in a world of total shitbags. He was the real deal. You know, like his character says um in the Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which the title of the movie is named after. I Like Me. What you see is what you get. He's the real article.
Words spoken by a true legend by John Candy.
Definitely, definitely. Well, this brings a wrap to the Men Who Watch Movies. We had a pleasure talking about Scott Pilgrim with you guys, and we hope that you like and subscribe and do all the things. We hope to expand further, and we'll keep posting Wednesdays. I know we post a little late on Wednesdays. I'm going to try and start posting earlier so that we can get it out for you. But we're keeping our end of the bargain. We're putting it out a show every Wednesday, regardless of what's going on, and we're gonna try and do that from now on. My name is Alec,
And my name's DJ the Movie Man Wagner, also known as Huey of the Men Who Watch Movies.
and we want to remind you all to keep
Keep
on
on
watching.
watching.
Thank you, everybody.
Have a good day.